Hi there, very good day to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight's topic on your human resource management is about the ethics and CSR, corporate social responsibility, HR ethics, and how you could be socially responsible for your human resource. We know this CSR. Usually, we use these companies. They do corporate social responsibility to the to the society. Let's say if you are a company, you uh, operate your company in the society, you make your profit within the society, you sell your stuffs to the society, so the profit comes from the society, so you have a duty to pay something back out of your profit to the society again. That is what corporate social responsibility is generally known as. Okay, let's say if you're a software company, you may sell your softwares to the public, you earn a lot of money, and out of the profit you make out of that sales, you spend some money back again to do some school developments in the society, to build some welfare centers in the society, in the country, or in the city where you operate. That is your corporate social responsibility towards the society. But here in this subject, we will be specifically talking about the social responsibility towards your human resource, to your own people working for you to earn the money for you, how you could be. Okay, so we'll have a look at it. And both of these topics are voluntary. Voluntary meaning you have to think and do it. There is no law that says you got to do it. If the law says to do things, you have to meet the minimum, the legal minimum of it. That is part of regulation. Okay. Now, example would be this. Law says if you earn uh, some profits, if you are a limited liability company, when you declare the profit, let's say if you declare 10,000 sterling's profit per year, out of that you have to pay 20% of it. That has to go to the government. This is law. This is not your ethics. This is not your corporate social responsibility. You are legally liable to this. So when the law says to do certain things, it is going out of the definition of ethics or corporate social responsibility. But if you do it voluntarily, without any force or without any other regulations or any other enforcement, it may fall under ethics or CSR. So ethics is about being ethical voluntarily. Okay, you have the right to avoid it. You have the right, or you have the opportunity to deny it, but it still become ethical. Okay, today I bought some rusk to send that to some other party. They visited us and they ate those kind of rusk from a local bakery, and they went back again to their city, so they wanted that dust too. So then they asked me if we can send those rusk, some of it. Then I bought 15 packets of them to send it today. Is a today's story. And usually one packet would cost you, let's say, 100 rupees. Okay, that's the price. So when I pick 15 bags for them, that should be altogether 1,500, and I gave him 1,500 rupees. The guy gave me 300 rupees back again. Then I said, you are miscalculating it, because 15 pieces, it has to be 1,500. He said, I know, but I give you the wholesale price. That's the price I sell that to every other wholesale purchasers when they want to resell it. Wow, this is ethics. He knows I didn't know that. And if he charged me 1,500, 100 into 15 times, I don't have any offense. I'm not going to misunderstand him, because I don't know. Again, I'm not a wholesale purchaser to sell it again. So I'm just buying it as usual. I used to buy one or two. This time I'm buying 15. That's the difference. So I don't feel anything. But he voluntarily offered that 300. That's yours. Take it. This is ethics. Okay, so this is what we are looking at. We are talking about HR practices, your employees. Right now, let me come back to this story. uh, I don't know how many of you can recognize this face. Please, can you on the mic and say, can you speak? Last class will speak. Anyone? Who is this?
Courtney Walsh, former
Courtney
West
Walsh.
Yes, got me also. Right, okay. Who is his counterpart from the other end to bowl with him from West Indians? Who was the other bowler, key bowler for West Indians to support him on the other end?
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Curtly Ambrose, right? Right, okay, guys. Right now, in the history of cricket, there was an incident happened when he was playing against Pakistan. Let me recall that story. I didn't watch the match, but I heard, and I watched the YouTube as well, and that's why I wanted to bring this story to you. Now, what happened? A match between Pakistan and West Indies. Final ball. Walsh was the bowler, and one ball left. Pakistan wanted 2 runs to finish the game off. If they score 1 run, match is tied. Right now, at this point, what would a batsman do, or both of those batsmen do? The person on the batting end, he would try to hit the ball as whatever he does, he wants to hit the ball for a couple of runs, or at least minimum for one. That's what he would do. And the batsman on the other end, bowler's end, he would want to run anyway. If you hit the ball or if you miss the ball, whatever that happens, I want to run. Now that's the strategy. Otherwise, you don't. If you doesn't hit the ball, if you don't run, the end of the match. So you hit it or not, I'm going to run. And this is the story. This is the strategy at the final stage of your game. If you have one ball left. Now Walsh knows it. He's a great cricketer, so he knew that he delivers the ball or not, the batsman in the bowler's end, going to run away from the crease. So he has a chance to hit the stump, get the cup. So what he did, he intended initially, I am not going to deliver this ball, but I'm going to just run and make an action that I was going to bowl. I let the bowler run away from the crease. And exactly that's what happened. The bowler went out of the crease. He is halfway down in the crease, but ball was with the ball by the wicket. He could have simply left the Wales off from the wicket to break the stump and got the match won. But he said he stopped it and he called the batsman back again. Come here, stay here. I don't want to win the game like this. I want to dismiss your batsman or otherwise I lose. I don't mind. And what he did, he attempted for the second time for the last ball of the innings and he bowled the batsman on the other run. He hit it for a couple of runs. Pakistan won the game. Walsh lost the game. Right? This is the ethics of your game. Game is to be played, not to do these kind of things to win the game. Okay. Having said this story, uh, the story is like this. This game is not the victory of the loss or victory of West Indies or Pakistan. It's a story. We talk about it today. We talk about this when we see Courtney Walsh. That's the story because the ethical appearance, ethical practices of some guys. The same principle applies in HR as well. Okay, if you apply this, that will bring your organization to the society to invite people to help you, to work for you. Okay, this ethics can be followed in many ways. Your compensation. When you make the payment, salary, the law says your payment is minimum this amount. Okay, you can pay any amount above that, or you can pay any number of employees at that price. You don't need to pay more than that. And if you take a country like UK, for blue collar work, I'm sorry, for blue collar workers, we have oversupply of workforce, abandoned workforce. You have so many people looking for jobs. Okay, so companies have the right, have the, I would say, have the opportunity, have the chance to exercise the legal context to say the price is this, the minimum wages, if you won't come and work, because unskilled workers, we need people to do this layman work, and we pay this price if you want. But companies won't do this. They usually pay the price they pay for the others. This is ethics. I don't say every company, but most companies, they practice ethics there. When you decide a salary for a position, the position that takes the salary, not the personnel. Okay, the responsibility that you have that get paid, not the title of the job. That's what we learned yesterday in the law. So the HR department, the HR practices has the opportunity to decide the price for a job depending on the personnel. For some weaker people, If they are weaker in bargaining their price, you offer some price, they take it. And if whoever they are stronger in bargaining, you offer them a bigger price. You know it is difficult to bargain with this guy, so you offer the price they ask, and it is easy for you to bargain with the other guy. You offer him a less price. This is unethical because you're not looking after your employees equally to each other. That's not right. Okay, so you have to practice your HR ethics. An executive privilege, if you give some privilege to your employees, that has to be given equally on the same ground. You cannot get someone privileged over the others based on some other different factors. No. When you want to give some annual incentives, you have to have a plan. That plan has to be applied for every single employees on board in your organization. You never use one system for one and another system for another. No. If you are talking about raise the base salary, okay, that has to go up to everyone, right? So these are all ethics or areas that you can maintain your ethics. You can practice your ethics. Race, gender, and disability. Though there are laws to protect these specific characteristics, race, gender, and disability, as we discussed in the last previous session, there is still room for you to practice this discrimination against gender, race, and disability, escaping from the legal framework. You can escape. You can breach the law, but law doesn't have any means to find what you have done. There are stuff for the law as well. It is difficult. You may establish that you are right, you haven't done anything. Okay, you can walk off from the charges. It's easy. Okay, so here you have to practice your ethics as well. Example, this, let's say, uh, if you have a position, you cannot advertise that this position is only for ladies or only for females or only for males. You can't do it. It is illegal because you go against the Gender Discrimination Act or Sex Discrimination Act. Fine. But what you do, you never say this, but you do it. Okay, you need a female for this position. You don't want any males, but you never tell any males that I don't want you. But you never select a male. You may have better option to select a male. You may have a better employee to select to a male for that position. But however, you strategically just ignore. If you ignore, uh, how can I catch you? How can I take you under the eyes of law? It's difficult. But that it is you. You got to be ethical in those kind of things. Okay, that is you. Because that's what I said initially. Being ethical is voluntary. If you think you can do, if you think you can escape, okay, and not a problem. It's up to you. But would you do it? Privacy issues, right? Employees, they have privacy issues and that cannot be communicated to any other third party. Sometimes an employee may approach an HR manager and saying that I have some family problem, and he may share his family issues with you, and he would want some advance payment in advance for that financial difficulties, or otherwise they may approach HR saying that I have some family issues, I need some day off for these kind of reasons, can you please give me those. Whatever they want, they may share some personal issues. That happens because we are all human beings. Though we work on legal contract, as we are human, we have some human emotions, so we may have to share. And within your capacity as a HR manager, you may listen to all of those, you may hear all of those, and you should deal with those very confidentially. You hear from this guy his personal life. He may say, I've got my family issues and my matrimonial uh, contract is dissolved. I'm divorced now. I am a single mother or single parent or single dad, and I have no accommodation. I have two kids and so on. I need some additional support from the company to look after my kids at home without their parent, their dad. You talk to her with some empathy, and you come out of your cabin and you share this message with some other people in your circle. That is unethical. Okay, so these kind of things. Employees are your family members. You live together and you have privacies among you. If they are with it, you should not share it with others. That's not right. Okay, so that will give you some protection for personal life. Okay, religious belief as well. Some people, they practice certain religious stuffs, and then that they want them to be private. They don't want to disclose that to anyone else. And HR may collect some data about it for some reasons. Fine, you may not use it, you may not disclose it for anyone. If you do it, Data Protection Act may come against you. However, you have the loopholes to escape from the charges. Okay, so escaping from the charges is you from the courts, from the judges. That's fine, but you have committed a crime that you know. Okay, so today I met one guy after the prayers, and there was a case going on with two parties. One says that land is mine, the other one says no, that's his. And both of them are my friends. I know both of them. And one party lost the case last week. The other party won the case. So whoever they won, they called me. Then they said the judgment is in our favor. We won the case. Whoever lost the case, I met him today. He said, uh, we lost the case and we're going to appeal again. Then I asked him, okay, fine, you lost the case. Why? He said the judges, the lawyers' final argument was that the deed we produced to the courts to claim the ownership was not verified, so that that deed is not valid, and we need the land. The judge said, at the point you are right, so take your land for now. If you want, you can appeal against the decision later. Right, that's one. But I asked him a question. This is about the document. This is about your papers that you have. But who owns the land really? That's what we want. Courts can be fooled by you. That is a different story. But who owns the land? Is it yours or his? That is what the ethic is about. If it is yours, you will get it. If it is not yours, leave it to him. Why do you want to fight? Because you have a paper. Right. Okay. So this is what the ethics is about. Okay. Now we can fool the law. We can fool the law enforcement authorities. That is absolutely your intelligence. You fool someone doesn't mean that you are right. Okay. This is about ethics. Right. Now the next part is about the leadership. When you want to lead people, when you want to lead people, you have to you will have some rights. Okay, as HR, as an organization, you would definitely have people working under you. You will be regulating them. You would be getting their reports. They report to you. So you lead them. They follow you. And as the leader, as you are the leader, you can exercise some authority, some power of you over them to get unfair favors from them as well. That's yes. Let's say you may be the company CEO. You have a driver. Company gives the driver to you. That's right. Now the driver is entitled to his pay, and you are entitled to use his services, and there's a limitation. There's a time. The work starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, and maybe it's finishing at 5 6 o'clock in the evening. Within that time you can get the driver to drive you anywhere you wanted to. That's yes. But since you are the CEO and he is your person working under you, you have the power to tell him to, can you please, I'm going out tonight for a drink. I can't drive. Can you take me and drop me back? He can't deny it. This is unethical. You exercise this power because you're the leader, and he knows if he doesn't obey you, it's going to be a problem for him next day morning. That's why. That's not right. Okay, that's unethical. Use of information, as I told you, you collect all the information from your employees. Data Protection Act is already there. It is in force. They take actions against you and so on. But minor breach of your information or minor misuse of your information, as difficult for you to take the case against, because little thing. Okay, if you file a case in the courts, it takes about 6 7 8 months or more to get the charges established, to get the claims given to you, and it takes a lot of money. Too many appearances, courts, case lawyers, judges, right, barristers, courtroom practices, documentation submission. What is it? So you ignore it. Okay, so law cannot look into every single thing. Law has its own weakness. So that is why the topic ethics. right? We have to be human being. We got to do this within the ethical limits, right? Fairness and justice, as I told you, every employee is a child of you. Okay, you never treat one child over the other in discrimination, right? One child is your child, the other child may be the problem child. Fine. You never give your hope up. You never put them out. You never throw them away because you're not good. No, you never give your hope up. You always with a baby. That is how you treat those guys. Okay, so you're behind. That's a modern day's practice now. Let's say you recruit 10 people, 5 people are good, they're productive, they're worth it for the price you pay for, but the rest of the five, they are not worth it. You spend a lot of money to them and nothing comes out from them. It's costly, you don't get any benefit and so on. So you never tell them, get out here, I don't want to bear the cost of you, you're not worth it for me and so on. No, what you do, you work with them. Okay, you look after them, you give them training, you try to get them productive. That's what you do because they're your kids, they're your child, they have their family. Okay, they are running their family, they have a mechanism. So right, so yeah, right, let's come to the final part of it, which is the CSR, corporate social responsibility. Right, let me give you an example of this general definition of corporate social responsibility. As I said before, companies, they become socially responsible when they earn profit to the society they do the business with. That's obvious. And according to researchers, the more you socially responsible, the longer you live. If you take companies living long years, if you take the record of their budgets on the corporate social responsibility annually, if they have a budget, the bigger the budget, the longer they live. The longer years they do, the longer they live. Because corporate social responsibility, I would use a word here: spiritual growth of your business. Spiritual growth, right? That is spiritual growth of you personally. Right? There is no discrimination. There is no uh, 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 religious appliances in here. What religion you follow it, whatever that is, right? After all, human being. If you are a human being, if you are socially or personally responsible to someone, you secure yourself. Every religion promotes it, and everyone believes it, and everyone see it before our eyes. If you have a problem, give some charity. You sort your problem out. That is your personal responsibility. If you are a lecturer, you don't lecture only for money. You do that because you have to survive, but you do lots of free lectures as well. That is your personal responsibility. Okay. So you got to become personally responsible as well as socially responsible as well. It doesn't matter who you are, what religion you follow, which God do you believe. That's the problem with you, with your God. The problem is humans help humans. That is your responsibility, right? Now, so this is happening for, so then when you do this, you spiritually grow. Okay, when you do this kind of things, you spiritually grow. The same terminology applies for organizations as well. Organizations, when they spend money, when they give things to the society back again, they spiritually grow because there is a responsibility of the nature to give things back to you, to keep you steady there because you would do more to look after the society again. That happens. So if you're a business, always do your responsibility that will spiritually grow your business. Right? Now, when you take a business, the spirituality it has two wings. One is to do that to the society out there, your customers, because they buy things from you. When you do social responsibilities to them, you may build them some schools or some nurseries or some computer centers or some educational institutions or some bus stops to wait until you get your bus, those kind of things, build some roads. The society is suffering from some flood, sudden flood or wildlife disasters or wild fire, whatever, right? You have to, you may give them some food or some shelter or some kind of things. That's yes, okay. So you do it, right? That's part of it. And if you're a manufacturing company, if you're socially responsible, the raw materials that you use, it may be a safe one. Okay, then that will be then you become socially responsible. You want the money, but you can't sell everything what you have to make it into cash. No, you have to be careful about what you're selling. Okay, the price you charge, you have to have some responsibility. So there are so many stuffs we can discuss on. Now we limit this story to your employees. Your employees, and how can you be responsible for your employees? Your employees are your family members. They run their family. Your employees, you're a big company, and your employees' family starve for the night. Are you an employer? The question you have to answer. You're an employer. Your employees' kids doesn't have proper medical services. So what sort of employment are you providing? You're an employer. Your employees' kids doesn't have access to quality education. So what sort of employer are you? Right? If you're an employer, you have 1,000 employees working for you. You are not only responsible for 1,000 employees, you are responsible for 1,000 families. Okay. So you have to look after the standard of living of them, their education, their medical services, their shelter, their housing, their home, their furnitures, and their food, dresses, those kind of transportation. You're responsible. Okay, so this is part of your things. Companies. I mean, if you are a company starting, you can't provide this everything like this. That's acceptable. But when you grow, you don't. When you grow, you don't. Okay, so you are growing because of their services, because of their work. If that is the case, definitely you have to pay them back, right? Right. So, okay, so that is what it is. So, the premises of your workplace, yes. Now, the workplace you work for, is it safe enough for you? Could they provide you a safe environment, ventilation, air conditioning, sanitary facilities? There are so many stuff they can provide. They can afford. Okay. Oh, if they can't afford, that's a different story. The company is going down. That's a different story. But if you can afford, and if you deny to give it to them, that's not right. Right? The working condition. If you have some facilities or some capacity to provide some machineries instead of manual work, you kill the people to do manually because save money. Let's say last week I was having some some work in the office in the campus, and I wanted to break some concrete work there to do some alteration on it. You have two options. One is to manually break it. Okay, you have to use big hammer and you have to bang it and you have to break it. That's one. But you kill your mason. The other one is to use a breaker. There's machinery. Just plug it in and just give the vibration, and within half an hour, without any pain to the body, right, you massage your body, in fact, and you break it. Okay. But if you use the breaker, you have to pay about 7,000 rupees. That's rent for the day. For half an hour of work, you have to pay for the whole day. But if you get a mason, you only pay him the day money, 3,000, and he would take about half a day and he would break it. Which one you would go for? This is where the ethics plays the role. Okay, that's up to you. If you say no, no, no breaker, you break it with your arms, you'll build your muscles, and you have a bottle of drink tonight to kill your tiredness and so on. That's not ethics. Right, you give him both options. Right, I can get a breaker, break it, or if you want to do it manually, do it. That's up to you. Okay, but I prefer the breaker. I'll pay for it. You make your work easy, ease your work off for your employees. That is part of your ethics. Okay, part of your social responsibility. Right, we can have a discussion on this in very big scale. There are so many things that we can discuss. No time. Right, and again, a few more points here. Listening to your employees. If you're an employee, doesn't mean that you have the voice over them. You always speak to them. They listen to you. No, you have the opportunity to listen to them as well. They can give you some good idea than what you have. Okay? So listen to them. If it is possible, if they want some flexible schedules, let them do it. If it is possible, you don't want to see your employees. Do you employ them because you love them every single day? Hello, darling, I love you. Come to the office. I want to see you every day. Sit next to me in my table and we'll work together. No, right? You want them to work. If it is possible to work from home, let them. Right? So yeah, because they have the family, they can do some homework while they are doing the work and things like that. Okay. So I saw a picture today. My relative anyway, a PhD student in Colombo University. She brings her two kids to the university. Let them She let them sit down in the same table, and she listened to lectures, PhD lectures. Fine. Now, this is the context of some families. They don't have anybody to look after the kids. So if you allow a lady to stay at home, she can keep her kids with her. They would do their work. She would do your office work. It's flexible, right? So you give them an opportunity to spend the time with the kids, and she does the work for you. That's flexibility. That is responsibility. All right. So that's it on this. Thank you very much for joining us. And I see you in the next session. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.